Hello everybody, welcome to Totally Tabled. My name is Shaggy, and today I'm doing a full solo playthrough of Speakeasy. Speakeasy is the new heavyweight worker placement game from Vital Lacerda, one of my favorite designers. We play as a mob boss running a speakeasy empire in Prohibition-era Manhattan. As our infamy rises and we upgrade our business to operating nightclubs and casinos, we'll have to deal with increased attention from the police and outside mafia. Now, I went ahead and I got everything set up for a solo game. You're going to want to set it up just like you would for a two-player game. It's a fairly involved process that I'm not going to go over right here. I've made a members-only video going step by step through setup, so you can check that out by joining my Patreon. Our solo opponent in Speakeasy is Joe. They're going to be using the yellow pieces, and I set up their action deck for easy difficulty, since this is my first game. Now, usually I play a game multiple times before I film a playthrough, but I'm changing things up for this one in order to show off how I go about learning a heavy game. In my previous video on the channel, you can watch as I go through the rules for the first time. But don't worry if you missed the rules video or if it was too boring for you. I'll still explain the rules as I play, just like I always do. Alright, that's enough talk. Let's jump on in and start playing. We have a map of Manhattan here that is divided into 3 zones: downtown, midtown, and uptown. Each zone is further divided into numerous districts that are all numbered, and each district has 2 building locations. In the 2-player game, several districts have been closed off. We can't build in there. We've already gone through the setup round, and I placed my stills right there, Joe placed his stills right there, and I'm first player. Now, the very first thing I could have done on my turn was to play a helper card, but I don't have one right now, so we skip that. This is a worker placement game. We use our capos here in order to take actions from those persons of interest at the top of the board. So for my first action, I'm going to have one of my capos talk with that person right there. And now I just get to resolve the actions that are below them. So directly below them, that icon means we get to just take a helper card. I like the looks of this one. That will let me get 2 goons for free. So I'll just take that. I can play it on my next turn if I want. It immediately refills. And now I get to do that action that's in that box. And this is how all these locations work. You can see if I had gone to the lady there to the left, it would have been in the same location, but I would have gotten a different first action. Instead, I would have gotten a book. But regardless of what person you go to, you get to take this bottom action, which is we can build our speakeasies, up to 2 of them. Now I could take any of these that I want. You can see the costs below. These 3 are $3, then 5, then 8. I'm going to take this one. Can place it on any empty building spot in the entire city. I'm going to go right next door to my stills, and then we get that city tile. That costs 3, and now we get to take this reward that's at the bottom. That just lets us move up any one of our tracks that we want. This is our strength track here, and these are our operation tracks. I'll go over these tracks as they become relevant. I think I want to increase my stills track, this orange one. This determines how many barrels we produce when we take a produce action. So because we've gone up to 2, you can see below there, we'll now produce 2 barrels. And that also means that our infamy increases. Our infamy level is simply just the sum of all 5 of these tracks. So since everything started at 1, we start at 5 infamy. I've now gone up to 6. As we move up the infamy track, we'll sort of get different things along the way. You'll see that as we go. But there we go. We just built our first speakeasy. And because it says ×2, I could do it a second time. Optionally, I could take over one of these mobster speakeasies that are out here, these red speakeasies. But that would require strength that I just don't have right now. So you'll see that later. That's another option that we have. Instead, I'm just going to build another one. I think I'll build this one. And I want to come down here, I think. So we'll go there, get another city tile. That's going to cost me 3 again. And then this reward is I get a goon for free. just goes right up there. And there we go. We completed our actions. So now at the end of our turn, we get to draw an operations card. I think I'll take another orange. On Joe's turn, we just simply flip the top card of their action deck. That's been all nice and shuffled. They're going to try to send their capo to talk with the leftmost person in that area that's shown on the card. If that one was taken, then they'd go to the right one. And then they're going to ignore the actions that are actually on the space, and instead they're going to do the actions that are on their card. So the first thing they do is they increase their fleet track, also increases their infamy. The fleet track controls how far our trucks can move. You'll see that when we start doing some pick up and deliver. They're now going to build one of their speakeasies. Now to determine where they're going to build it, we just flip over the top card of this deck. This is the district deck. And we look at the number, so 16. That number is closed down. We shut down some districts for the 2-player game. So in that case, we just draw again. We're just going to keep drawing until we find a district that they can build on. Okay, you drew number 1. Now first, you can see up here, there's that helper symbol. So they're going to get to draw one of these helper cards. They're going to take the most valuable one. And now you can see in District 1, they're going to take over one of these mobster speakeasies. Joe always has the strength to take these over, right? He doesn't have to worry about strength. He just automatically takes it over. And if there's a tie, they'll always choose the top over the bottom location or the left over the right location. So they're going to take over that spot. The city tile just goes on their board like that. They don't get the rewards. They're just taking the tile. That'll be worth some money at the end of the game. Joe also never has to pay for his buildings. He just gets to build them right away. Joe gets to cheat a lot here. So there we go. We just discard those. And now they're going to do some pick up and deliver. So unlike us, again, Joe doesn't have trucks that move around the board. He just gets to sort of automatically deliver. The number of barrels that he gets to deliver is equal to his fleet level. So right now his fleet level is at ×2, so he can deliver 2 barrels. He would first take barrels from his still, but he doesn't have anything in his still. So instead he's going to take from the cheapest ship. So right now that's going to be right there. And then he's going to deliver to both of his speakeasies. Oops, that's not... He only has one speakeasy. What am I doing? He can't deliver to the still. So there we go. He delivered to his speakeasy. That's it. And now, boom, he's going to go ahead and sell right away. The number of barrels he can sell is equal to his party level. This is purple track. So he could sell 2, but he only has 1 barrel. The price per barrel that he sells for is equal to where he is on the infamy track, just like us. So right there, we use the bottom number. So he's going to sell for $10. For speakeasies, you always do the bottom number, and then for nightclubs and casinos, you use the top number. So he sells that barrel and makes $10. And there we go. That was his turn. It comes back to our turn, and at the beginning of our turn, we can play a helper card, and I think I will. This is just going to give me 2 goons for free. That actually saves me $5 doing that. And now you don't discard your helper card. Instead, you just... I'm going to put it underneath here. So I should explain, I have 2 different pots of money. I have sort of my cash on hand, and then in this cup here, that's the money that's in my safe. The game comes with these screens if you're playing a multiplayer game. I can use the money in my safe if I want to, but I have to launder it at a ratio of 2 to 1, which basically means that I'm going to have to pay double if I use the money from the safe. So we're going to try to stick to using cash on hand. At the end of the game, we're going to add up all of our cash, and then, of course, whoever has the most money is going to win. We're also going to be building sets of these helper cards at the end of the game to also get a little bit of extra money. And so that's why we just put it off here. But it's a one-time use. I won't get to use it again, but we'll save it till the end of the game to get a little bit extra. Great. Now I can take my action And I'm going to go talk to her. So we have to resolve these from top to bottom. And in this first box here, I have a choice. I could either take a helper card or I can move up one of my tracks. I think I want to do that. Ooh, although that is a nice helper card there. Actually, I do think I'll take that helper card. That's going to let me produce barrels, which is going to be very helpful. Now in the second box, I can do both of those things. I don't really want to get any goons, but I do want to get an associate mobster. And I think I want this guy, Joe the Boss. Now first we put this marker in his region. He's in District 15. That means that we can't attack that region because he's our friend now. And he's going to give us a little special ability where we can put 2 of our family members, one in our VIP section, and then one onto the docks. I'm going to place it right here, and then I get to choose between those 2 rewards on the right there. I can either get a book or a free goon. I kind of started with 2 books, so I think I'm just going to get the goon. There we go. That goon would have cost $4, but now it's free. Cool. And now I can turn this guy over. If we pay him $4, he'll contribute 3 power to an attack that we do. So right now, our power's at 1. We could pay him 4 to get +3, and then we can also spend goons to get +1 to our strength. And we can use our strength in order to attack these other mobsters and take over their speakeasies, which we might want to do soon. All right, I think that's it for me. So let's see what Joe wants to do. Flip over their next card. They're going right there. So they get to move their red VIP track 1 space. And that icon means that they're going to get some protection for their buildings. The number of buildings that he can protect is determined by the VIP track. So down here, even though he's increased it by 1, it still says 1. So he can send 1 family member to one of his unprotected buildings. He would start by choosing buildings in districts that have police officers, but none of his districts have police officers. He would then choose buildings with barrels. Neither of his buildings have barrels. And then he's going to do higher valued buildings. In that case, the speakeasy is a little bit more valuable than the stills. It goes casino, then nightclub, then speakeasy, then stills, in terms of like the higher valued buildings. Great, that's now a protected building, a protected speakeasy. So even if a cop were to appear there, it would still be an operating speakeasy. Right? Both of our speakeasies are also operating because there are no cops there. But again, if cops were to show up, then they would no longer be operating. We would have to protect them with one of our family members. And one of the rules of the game is that a non-operating building is the same as a non-existent building. So you really want to make sure that you keep your buildings operational. All right, next they're going to build another speakeasy. So here we go. We'll flip this. 7. They're going to take over that one. And this card also has another helper card. So now they're going to take the most valuable one that is different than the one that they already have. So you can see the bottle here. When you're collecting helper cards, you want to get different types of bottles because that's going to score more at the end of the game. Those 2 are worth 5 and the other one's worth 10. So they'll take that one and add to their supply of helper cards. These are my operations cards. I don't have a lot of room here, so I'm putting my cards right there, but this is theirs. And there we go. This is exactly what we were talking about. Because there's a police officer there with that speakeasy, that's a non-operational speakeasy. And they're now going to produce barrels, and that's going to be equal to their stills marker here. It means they're going to produce 1 barrel. And I'm just going to put that next to their stills. And there we go. That was their turn. I'm now realizing at the end of my last turn, I forgot to draw an operations card. That won't be the last time I forget to do that. I'll grab that one. Okay, now at the start of my turn, I am going to use my helper card. This one is going to let me produce, and I'm going to produce 2 barrels. My stills is operational, and so we just put our barrels right here. Now for my action. I really want to play a card, but I think instead we're just going to do pickup and delivery, and we'll worry about playing a card next time. So we're going to go there. I think that's called the garage. I think I'm going to increase my strength. So we're going to go from a strength 1 to 2. And now we get to do some pickup and delivering. We get to place our truck out, and we can place it wherever we want. We're just going to start it right there. So we can just pick up immediately. And without even moving, we can deliver. If you look at our fleet track here, it shows at the bottom there ×2. That means we get 2 movement. Each move lets you go to an adjacent district. So 1, 2, we can drive through these blocked districts. That's fine. And then I can drop off. Beautiful. So I produced the alcohol, rum, whatever it is, and now I've delivered it to my 2 speakeasies. The last step in this process is to then sell it to make money. So we haven't quite gotten there yet. That'll be the next thing we do. I'm going to grab a red card. You have no hand limit, by the way, so you can have as many of these cards as you want. And there we go. That's it for me. Joe's turn. All right. They're going to the restaurant. Now, the restaurant is a special location. Any number of capos can go there. He's going to change the turn order. Well, I guess he's not going to change the turn order. Actually, he always wants to be in last turn order place if he can. And now he's going to try to cook 3 books. That's what that icon means. So cooking books is one of the more complicated actions in the game. It involves putting books on all these different sort of goals that are around the board. Rather than go through them all at this point, I'm just going to say that he hasn't achieved any of these, and he needs to achieve them in order to put a book there. So for instance, up there, you could put a book if you have 1, 2, or 3 of these crates here that you see on the sides of the ships. You get those by actually attacking the ships, which you haven't seen yet. But he doesn't have any crates, so he can't put it there. The one next to it, if you have 3, 5, or 7 districts with at least one protected building, then you could put a book there. He doesn't have that, right? If you've moved up far enough on the infamy track, then like right there, if you get to the 10 spot, then you could put a book down. Well, that reminds me, I should be up 1 more. There we go, because I increased my strength. There's also spots to put books in these locations, but you need to have built the sort of fancier nightclub and casinos in order to do those, so we won't worry about those. So he's basically done none of them, so he can't place any books. If he places less than 3 books in those, like he would have been able to place out 3 if he met any of those conditions. If he places out less than 3, then he gets to just put one right there in Central Park. He only ever places 1 at a time, and he doesn't have to meet the goal there. He just gets to put it there. He always goes in the leftmost one, and then he just gets the money reward. What you can see right there is $10. Now, normally that would be $10 into your safe, right? Anytime you see that safe marker there, all of these places, that's money that goes directly into your safe. But Joe doesn't have a safe. He always just gets money in hand. So he just made 10 more bucks. And then that's it. So now that it's the end of the round, we're going to check the turn order, and because it's changed, or rather because someone went to the restaurant, we now have to adjust turn order. At this point, anyone who had a casino, it would pay out $5. That's the value of a casino. It pays out $5 at the end of every round where the turn order has changed. Of course, none of us have casinos yet, and we're still in first. And now I'm actually considering going to the same place, going to the restaurant. Yeah, let's do it. So now to go there, we have to spend or discard one of our operations cards. I think I'm going to discard this one. And then we have to adjust turn order. I actually do think I want to go into that last position. Now to do that, I have to discard another operations card. There we go. Now, the reason that I want to go into last place is because if you look below there, you can see that is the leverage cost of bringing our family members to protect our buildings. If you're in first place, it costs 4 leverage every time you want to send a family member to protect a building. But if you're in second place or last place, it only costs 2. Now, I'll show you how leverage works here when I take that action, but I want to start protecting some of my buildings, and that's going to help me do it. Now, that's actually a requirement to come to this spot. You have to do that. And now, here at the bottom, I get to pick between those 3 actions, and I get to do 2 different ones. So I can do some combination of play a card, play and activate 2 of my city tokens, or try to cook 3 books. I'm in the same situation as Joe. I can't cook any books right now. So I want to play a card and then also play my tokens. So I'm going to start by playing my city tokens. And the first token I'm going to play is this one that's going to let me sell barrels. The number of barrels I can sell is based on my party track, the purple track. And you can see below there, 2. So I can sell up to 2. There we go, 1, 2. And I'm looking at my infamy track. It's $10 per barrel at a Speakeasy, so that's 20 bucks. And that money goes into our cash on hand. Now this token that we use, we place over here. We can place it in any one of these spots in the middle. Now I have a token that would let me build a casino right away. That's interesting. Casino costs 17. That's very expensive. I don't feel quite ready for that. So instead, I'm going to play this one that will just let me produce barrels again. And I can produce 2. I can now play one of my operations cards. And I think I'll play this one. So I get to move my fleet marker 1. And then if I spend a card, I can move it again. So I'm all the way up on the 3 now, and at that spot, I get to unlock my truck. And then if you look on the track there, I just passed one of my family members. So I can take them. Now, unfortunately, I cannot place them here because the number of family members I can have on my VIP spaces is equal to my VIP track, which is currently at a 1. So I'm going to have to place this guy out here on the docks. We're just going to load them up on the uptown dock there. And my reward is either I can get one of these city tiles or I can get a card. Yeah, I'm going to get another operations card. And then at the end of my turn, I'll get another one. Oh, and sorry, I forgot. I get to take an action when I do this card. So I got my reward, and now I get to take the action. I get to take a deliver action. That was kind of the whole point. And I have this extra truck here. And so we're going to go place that truck right there. We're going to pick up, immediately deliver. Come over here and deliver. That was just 2, but they're going to stay there. And then my other truck will come back up here, ready to pick up, because they each get 3 movement. Okay, there we go. I think that's all for my turn. And now for Joe's last turn of this act. Okay, so we have an interesting situation here. He wants to go up there to the garage, but he's in the left, I'm in the right, so it's all filled up. So what he's going to do is he's going to essentially go to the park. At the park location, you're allowed to swap with another character's piece. So that allows him to go to the spot, but it means that I get a little extra benefit. You can see there below on the park space, I can choose to take one of either a leverage token, a city token, or a book. I'm going to go leverage token. Okay, and now Joe can complete his action. His fleet marker moves up. And now he's going to build 2 speakeasies. So let's see what the first one's going to be. 14. Oh, and at the top it shows a family member. So he's going to get to place a family member on the docks. It shows that he wants to do on the Midtown docks. And he always just places on the docks left to right, top to bottom. And then for his second one, 11. Whoops. Okay, 11 is blocked, but up there at the top, he gets another helper card. This one's the most expensive, and it doesn't match a bottle he already has. So we got to keep drawing. 9. Okay, now it shows another helper card, but you only do that once, right? He doesn't get to keep doing it over and over again. So 9. And he can go there. Oh, and I'm just noticing I played this earlier. That should just go here in the middle. And he's now going to do a delivery. So Joe is first going to take barrels from his stills. So he has 1 barrel here in his still. He can deliver 3 because that's where his fleet marker is. So he's going to take the 2 that he's missing from the cheapest ones on these ships. And now he has 4 speakeasies that he could deliver to. But he can only deliver 3 barrels, so he's just going to go from lowest district number to highest district number. Oh, I forgot. That speakeasy is not operational, so actually he can't deliver there. So never mind. He's going to deliver to these. There we go. That makes it easy. And into the round, we have to adjust the turn order. I'm going to be second going into the second act. And there we go. We've used all of our capos. So that's the end of the player phase for Act 1. We're now going to go into what's called the Lucky Luciano phase. So let's walk through this step by step. So the very first thing that happens is the mob war. We need to take the B mobster tiles and shuffle them. And then we're going to look for these tiles there. So we have one in District 2. So the top mobster is going to show up in that district. We can see there that Bugsy has a strength of 6. So we're going to put the corresponding marker there. You only look at the value on the gun. They have a +2 for this mob war strength, but there's no one here to battle, so they're just going to take over both building spaces. They just go next to the city tiles. Now we only have one other one. It's right here. That's on spot 14. Has a strength of 5. They can take over that one, but now we have a mob war situation. Joe is going to have to protect themselves from this incoming mobster. And the mob's strength is 5, but +2 because they have that little +2 for this particular section. So they're going to have to defend against 7 strength. Now, if that was us, we would have to look at our strength here. That's 2. We would have to maybe hire this guy to give us a strength of 3. That would be 5. And then spin some goons to get to 7 to protect ourselves. You just need to match the attacking strength. That's what we would have to do to protect ourselves. All Joe has to do is spend money equal to the strength. And so they're just going to spend $7. I don't know if they're using bribery or if they're just hiring other mobsters to help defend them, but that's how they deal with it. And then you can now see up there, we have to place out a couple more of those mob tiles. We have 2 here. They were all random. So this says, I was going to say 9, but it says 6 and 12. So that's not good. That means next round, we're going to have to defend our building here if we want to keep it. And it's going to be from an even worse mobster. The level C mobsters can get all the way up to 10 strength. Okay, now we go to Cops Patrol Manhattan. And this is really simple. We just replace these markers there with actual cops. And then we're going to place out 4 more. So we have 15. 6 again. Oh man, 6 is getting walloped. 2. And 1. So with a cop appearing here, it means we're going to need a family member to protect that, to keep it operational. Very good. And now lastly, we have to do payout zone control. What this means is we're going to look at every zone and we're going to see who controls the most districts, and they're going to get some money for doing so. So let's start here downtown. There's sort of a hierarchy of what buildings are considered, more valuable or have more control than others. In this case, a protected building is always better than a non-protected building. And any non-protected player building is better than a mobster building, than one of these red speakeasies. So in this case, Joe has control of District 1. The mobster has control of District 2. No one in 3. I have 4. No one in 5. And I have 6. So because I'm in sole first place here, I'm going to get $30 into my safe, right? That's what that symbol means. So I already had 30 in there. So now I have 60. Because Joe is tied with the mobster, they're actually in joint third place. You always get the lower value. So he's going to get $10. And again, he always gets it in cash. The mob doesn't actually get anything. They're just there to mess around. Now, this is where we get hurt because we haven't spread out to any other zones, but Joe has. So right here, Joe has 2 districts and the mob only has 1. So Joe's going to get 20. We get nothing because you have to at least control 1 district to get anything. And then here, the mob has 1 and Joe has 1. And that's it. So they're tied for second, so Joe gets 30. So we'll give him a 50 here. Yeah. So that was bad. That's why you want to spread out a little bit, and we weren't able to quite do that. Now we've reached the official end of Act 1, and we can go to Act 2. And as you can see up there on that chart, we actually lose one of our capos. We're only going to return 3 capos, so for Acts 2 and 3, we're only going to have 3 worker placement actions. And then in the final act, Act 4, we only do 1, and then you do in-game scoring. Now, to prepare Joe for Act 2, we do 2 things. One, we shuffle up his district deck. So we take his discards and we shuffle that up. We then take the level 3 cards that we set up at the beginning of the game. Because we're on easy, we actually only have 1 level 3 card and then 2 zeros. And we mix those in with the 2 cards that weren't used. In this case, they happen to be 0 cards. So we're going to shuffle those up. And that's going to be his new action deck for Act 2. And I think that's it. I think we're ready to start with our actions. And as you can see, Joe is first. So he's going to play. Okay, party track goes up 1. And boom, he's going to sell. The number he can sell is based on his party track. It shows a 2 down there. So even though he's in the 3rd position, he can only sell 2 barrels. He would sell starting with his higher value operating buildings. But since these are the same, I think he just goes from lowest district to highest district. So 1, 2. Still $10 each. We got to get up to 12 infamy before we can sell these for a little bit more. And that's it. It's our turn, and I do want to start protecting our buildings. That said, oh, there's so much I want to do. Let's do it. This is a learning game. This is what learning games are all about. We're going to talk to her. At this spot, we can build nightclubs and casinos. Now, here's the thing about nightclubs and casinos. 1, they're expensive. And 2, you can only have 1 nightclub per zone. And you can only have 1 casino per zone. So you can't have 2 nightclubs or 2 casinos in the same zone. They have to be spread out. And that's why we only have 3 pieces for each. So that makes it a little bit more difficult. Now, I have a bunch of money on hand here. I have exactly 24, so I could build 2 nightclubs. Okay, we're going to do it. This might be crazy, but we're going to do it. Ooh, yeah, here we go. We're going to spend 12 to build this nightclub. And again, you can do a couple things. You can build it just in its own location, so we could like build it right there. Or you can upgrade one of your speakeasies. Now, unfortunately, we haven't cleared out one of these spots. If we had cleared that out, we could get a 3 discount. But we haven't done that yet. But I want to do the third thing. I want to actually take over one of these mobster speakeasies and convert it directly into a nightclub. And I want to do that one. Now, the strength there is 3. So we need to get to 4 strength. We're at 2. And so I can spend 2 goons to get to 4. Take that over, we get this. And now that's not operating yet because there is a cop there. So we are going to have to send one of our family members there to protect it, and then it'll become operational. But look at the action we get to take. We get to sell. Look at our party track. It's 2, so we can sell these 2 barrels. $10 each, that's 20. Now, where am I going to send my next one? I'm going to go here. So that's going to cost 12. Get that. It's also not operational yet. And that's going to let me increase a track, and I'm going to increase my strength. We're going to get up to 3. And in fact, now that I think about it, I'm going to do those in the opposite order. So let's say I did that one first, and then I'm going to do this one. So because I'm at 3, I only needed to use 1 goon. A little retcon there, but that would be the smarter way of doing that. Once again, this is a learning game. Oh, right. Sorry. Hold on. Instead of using that one where I got to sell my stuff, I'm instead going to use this one that would let me produce. So I didn't sell for 20, and instead I just produced 2. Okay, so I have no money. The reason that's important is because now I get to play a purple card. That means this still has a barrel. That still has a barrel. Now I get to play my purple card. Sorry, I don't have a lot of room here for sticking these cards in here. I could just place them on top. That might be what I do. But I'm going to get a book. And then I get to sell as part of this, of playing this card. So now I'll sell. Now I get the $20. And then the last action I get to do is to increase one of my tracks. And I'm going to increase my red track. So now I can hold 2 of my family members here in the VIP area. Now we just got to get those operational, which hopefully we'll be able to do here soon. Okay, and now I'm obviously seeing that I forgot to place his piece down. Right there. So now Joe gets to go. And gets to do a bunch of stuff. VIP goes up 1. Oh, I actually should have gone up 2. I think I'm at 11. You can always count it. That's the nice thing. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So because I got to that spot there, I get to take a card. And then also at the end of my turn, I get to take a card, which I'm always going to forget. I'll take a purple card. And then I also get a helper card because of that space. And then I get 1 more of these. I'll take a green. Okay, there we go. Now we're clear. Okay, so they're producing just 1. Building a speakeasy on 2. And they're getting a family member in the docks. Downtown docks. Then delivering. So they can deliver 3. So that's 1. Then take 2 from the ships. And now they're going to get to sell 2 of them for 20. All right, I think I did that right. That felt right anyway. Now our turn. We really want to open our nightclubs. So the problem is we need 2 family members, which we can hold now, but we only have 1. But that isn't a problem, is it? So I think we can go up there. And then play a red card. We have a red card right there. And that will let us take the action that we need. Protection. That will also give us the family member that we need. Love it. Let's do it. So there we get a family member. We can put them in our VIP or on the docks. We'll put them here. We have room for 2. Get another leverage token. And now we can play a red card. We're going to get a book. Got lots of books here. We could actually start putting some of these books out. So we should think about that. So we just take this card out. Slide the new one in, and we're going to get to take that action. So that's the get protection action. So we can send as many people from our VIP room, as many family members to our buildings as we want. Now we only have 2, and each one is going to cost a certain amount of leverage. For us, because we're in second position, it's going to be 2 leverage. And the way we spend leverage is 1 from the cards that we have in our board. So you can see here I'm getting 2 leverage from this card, 2 leverage from this card, no leverage from there, and I haven't played a card here. So I actually have 4 leverage here that I can spend. And you don't have to spend the card, you just sort of have it. So that's going to be plenty. That's all I'm going to need. But I could also spend the leverage tokens that I have, discard it for 1 leverage. But I got enough right here. Boom. And now that both of those are protected, that negates the cops. Those are operational nightclubs now. And if we can get our infamy 1 more up, and we can deliver over there. We can now sell to those. We'll get 20 bucks for each one. That is big time. Now that does it for me. I get to take another card. What am I missing here? Yeah, I'll grab another red. And now for Joe's last action. Always goes to the left. Moves that up. Oop, it's going to take the same action that we did. He's going to get some protection. Now, he does it a little bit differently. He's going to look at his VIP room operation level. So he's going to get to send 2. And he's first going to look to see if there's any that have cops there. And there is one right there. So there we go. That one's now operational for him. He's then going to look for buildings that have barrels. And he actually has 2. And he's going to prioritize Uptown in that case. Now it's my turn. At the beginning of my turn, I want to spend my helper card. That's going to let me do a delivery. I've got 2 barrels. He's going to pick those up, and now I can move 3. 1, drop off. 2, 3, drop off. There we go. We now have our nightclubs hopping. We got the alcohol flowing, and I'm feeling good. So I'm going to do something a little special here with this truck. Because my truck is in the same district as a rum runner ship, I can actually buy rum from them. We have the brown ship here, which is at the very bottom. So it's expensive. It's going to be 6 for the first barrel, 7 for the second barrel. I'm going to do it, though, because we'll still be making a profit. So I spent 13. We'll pick that up. We'll deliver that to that speakeasy. And then deliver to that one. So now I have both of my speakeasies and both of my nightclubs stocked with the alcohol. Now we just need to sell. And selling is easier said than done. But I do have a purple card. Now at the end of buying rum from the ship, it moves on. Goes to the next empty one, so we're going to skip that. And it's going to go to that one. So these ships, they just keep going around in clockwise direction. Great, so that was my delivery based on my helper card. What action do I want to take? I have $7. One thing I was thinking about was getting a more powerful mobster. Because we're going to have a mob war right here. And I might need to protect up to 10. Now, 3 plus 3, 6... 7, 8, 9, 10. I guess I technically could, but I lose all my goons protecting this building. See, I could get one of those more powerful goons. That might be nice, but I also want to sell. And to sell, I would need to play a purple card. I could go to the restaurant. That would let me play a card. And I get to play 2 of these, or I could cook the books. The thing is, before I sell, I want to be 1 higher on the infamy track. So I do want to move something up. Okay, yeah, I have to go to the restaurant. Cost me a card. I want to be second again, so it's going to cost me another card. Ugh. I guess this one. I'm going to cook the books first, because I think I've met 3 goals. I can do that one because I am, at that level or higher. And you can see on there, we get to move up a track. I'm going to move up that one. So now we're at that higher money level. So now we're selling for 15 and 20. Then we also get $10 into the bank. Or into our safe, I should say. My second one is going to be right here in Central Park. That requirement is just to have 3 barrels on buildings. And I have got 1, 2, 3, 4. Get a leverage token. And 10 more bucks. And then my last book, right there, that's just have 7 leverage across all things that are giving you leverage. So I have 4 and 4. I get a family member. Okay, now I'm going to do my city tiles. And we're going to start with this one. That's going to let me play a purple card. And we'll play this one. That's going to give me another family member. I can hold 2. And then we can sell. We can only sell 2, but let's just go ahead and sell those 2 from our nightclubs. That's going to be 20 each, so 40. Rolling in the cash on hand. This is fantastic. Now, I can place this anywhere in this middle row. I could place it on top of things if I wanted to. And now I want to play this one, which is going to let me build a casino. I've got the money for it, so it's cost 17. I also have to discard an operations card. Forgot about that. Let's get rid of that one. Now, where is it going to go? That's the question that I haven't thought about. I could have control over here if I got a casino over here. And that'd be worth some big money. So I could pay this guy and we could take that over and I could keep my goons, or I could spend my goons. I'd have to spend 3 goons. Yeah, I like it because there's no cop here, so it would be operational right away. Oh no, but if I played here, I wouldn't... Ah, this is the thing. This is tricky. A protected building is always considered more control than an unprotected one. So even though my casino would be better than that Speakeasy, because his is controlled, he would actually control this district. I can't go and attack in that area because I'm friends with this guy. So I could just go into that region up there, but there's a cop there, and then it wouldn't be operational, and I've got that district anyway. So there's actually no way for me to gain control of this region. So maybe we just bring it over here. Now, I don't want to go here because of there's a mob war that's going to be happening. That's also why I don't want to spend my goons also. So this is a pickle. There's going to be a mob war here, so I don't want to go there. There is no good place to place this casino. Honestly, this might be the best place, but that's 6. So I'd have to hire him and use a goon. But that would give me control of that district. And then I would win here. Fine, we're going in there. Not happy about it. So we got to hire our guy for 4. So that's 3 plus 3, that's 6. And then we need to spend a goon to get to 7 because we have to exceed it. We got a casino out and it is operational because that cop has not appeared yet. End of my turn, I get a card. Get that one. And then that's the end of the round. So we do the turn order and my casino pays out $5. Basically paid for that whole nonsense. I'm going to stay in second place. And there we go. That's the end of the player phase for Act 2. We now need to do the mob war. And this is potentially bad. So we're going to shuffle up the mobsters. And they're going to start here. So Gertrude is coming into 6. She's an 8 strength, but 9. She gets a +1 here. So we have to defend 9. Ooh boy. And we can just barely do it. So we'll pay our guy 4. So that's 3 plus 3, that's 6, 7, 8, 9. And we hold on to our spot. Woo, boy. That was brutal. Those goons came in handy. And now Joe here is coming right here. He's a 7. And there's no one there, so... All right, so let's see where these are going to take place. 9. Nice. That'll cost him some money. 4. No! And 13. Oh, wow, we're going to get knocked around next round. So now it's cop. 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 All right, and now there... 9, 3, and 14. And now we need to do the zone control. And I realize I miscalculated a little bit here. I looked this up. I might have done this wrong the first time, but the police do not affect the mobsters' speakeasies. But they definitely affect ours. So here in District 1, Joe has a protected speakeasy, so they have control of that one. However, in 2, neither of us are protected, and so that's nothing. No one controls that. That cop is putting the kibosh on my casino. 3-0, 4, I control that. 5-0, and then here in 6, once again, the police is shutting down my speakeasy, but not the mobsters. So the mobster actually controls that one. So we have a 3-way tie, which means we're all tied for 3rd place. So we each just get $10. And again, this goes into our safe. Now we have a similar problem here. 7, we're both protected from that cop, and my building is better, so I have control of that one. 8 is actually mobster controlled, because we ignore the police. 9, Joe controls. 10 and 11 are nothing. And 12, once again, the mobster controls. So, once again, we're in a tie for 3rd place, and we get nothing here in Midtown. And now in Uptown, I control 13. Joe controls 14. And the mobster controls 15. Tied for 3rd, we each get 20. I'm going to have to start cashing in some of these here. So that's 20. And that's the end of Act 2. We can go on to Act 3. All right, Joe's first. Oh, he's going to the docks. That's actually annoying. Gonna go there. Now he's getting more money when he sells, and he's producing barrels. Still just producing 1. Okay, I'll put in next to the stills. And that's it. I think we need to protect our casino and this speakeasy, get them operational again. We're gonna go there. We don't have room for this family member here in our VIP, so we're going to put it in the docks. Let's go right there. Yeah, I'm going to get an operations card. Yeah. I can hire goons, and I do want to do that. I can hire 3 goons for $3. That strikes me as a good deal. Because that one is free. $1, $2. Do I want to spend 3 to get another one? You know, it might come in useful. They were extremely helpful before, so let's just go ahead and do that. We get 1 leverage token, and now we can play a red card, which we will. So this is going to let us move our track up 1, and then we can take a protect action. That is giving us less leverage, so we will have to spend 2 of our tokens. Because our cost is 2 per family member, so 2 for protect, protect. Beautiful. Now all of our buildings are operational. And at the end, I get to take a card. There we go. Joe goes. I was thinking of going there. Green goes up. And I would have gone up as well. Ooh, so I'm 1 away from getting another family member. That's helpful. And now doing a delivery. So his fleet marker's at 4, which means he can do 3 deliveries. He's got 1 at his stills. 2, 3 like that. And he still just has a bunch of speakeasies. That one is not operational. That one is. That one is. And the other ones already have barrels. All right. Got lots of barrels out there. I know one thing I really want to do is to get a better mobster associate. Because we're going to have a gang war here that's, going to be ruthless. We got to protect our stills. Not only that, the cops are going to come in there also. So it would be nice to protect our buildings. But man, I also want to deliver to my 2 nightclubs and my casino and then sell. Man, I want to do so many things, but I only have 2 more actions this round. I think the most important thing is getting a mobster associate who will protect me. I'm going to increase my purple. Get a family member. Now I can sell 3 barrels whenever I do a sale action. I'm not going to buy mobsters. I already did that. But I am going to get this mobster, Gertrude. So Joe goes back. Gertrude's giving us 2 city tiles. I'm going to take those 2. Now when you take from the right column here, you refill immediately. But not the center. And Gertrude was here in 6. So for $9, I can get 8 power. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So I have 15 power if I need it. That's good. Oops. And then we flip her over. Great. Done. Okay, back to the docks. He's already there. It's already full. When this happens, we have to draw new cards until a location where Joe can place his capo is drawn, and then shuffle the action cards not used and place them at the bottom of the action deck. So that's unfortunate for Joe. He's going to have to skip that powerful card and go here instead. His red moves up. And he's going to do a protection. So his VIP is all the way up to 3, so he can add 3 protection. He's going to go there first because there's a cop. Oops. He's going to go there because it's a barrel. And then that's everything but his stills. So he's going to do his stills. He is completely protected everywhere. Then we shuffle that. Put it at the bottom. That was his last go. Now it's ours. I think we want to go... Oh, and at the end of my turn, I forgot to draw. I always forget to draw a card. There we go. Okay. I simply cannot remember to do that at the end of my turn. So yeah, I do think we want to go to the restaurant. Got to spend a card. I don't think I need this one. And now how badly do I want to go second? Okay, I'll get rid of this card. I will go second, just in case. Cool, now I want to play a card. So we're going to play this green card. I'll move that up 1, but I'm not going to move it up again. And now we're going to deliver. And we're going to be paying for barrels here. Just realized I don't have as much money as I thought I did. Well, we're going to be paying for 2 barrels from the orange ship. That's going to be 13. And one's going to get delivered right there. 7 back. We have 4 movement. And now we're going to go 1, and we're going to buy from the brown ship. And that costs 8, which is exactly what I have. And then we're going to deliver it to the casino. Those ships move on. That was my card play. Now we're going to spend 2 city tiles. We're going to sell. I can sell 3. So casino, 2 nightclubs. That's 20 each. That's 60. Oh, that's nice. And now I could sell again and sell those 2 from my 2 speakeasies. Or I could do another delivery. Thing is, I'd be spending so much anyway. So I'm just gonna do the sell. I'm just gonna sell. $15 each, that's 30. There we go. Insane amount of money there. That's my turn. We now adjust turn order, and my casino pays 5. Now we just need to go to the Lucky Luciano phase. Mob War is first. And we have a big Mob War. So let's see who's hitting us. Oh no, the worst one. So we need to protect our stills. I mean, we don't have to, but I think we should. So we need to spend 9 in order to get this 8 protection from Gertrude. So that's 8, 9, 10, 11, and then we have to spend 1 for 12. We just have to match it, and then we've protected. And now for our speakeasy, yeah, let's do it again. So we're spending a lot of money here, but we're protecting our stuff. And because that mobster was completely shut out, they just don't even go on the board. They're just done. Sorry, Vito. Okay, now down here. Ooh, another harsh one for our pal Joe. He's going to have to spend handsomely. So he's going to spend 12 twice to protect both buildings. He's spending 24. That hurt. And then, man, I have another gang war up here. And we're definitely going to spend. Oh, and we don't have to spend a goon because she's just 11. So 8, 9, 10, 11, we're good. But she does get to go on the board. Now the rest of the police come out. As you can see, they are now in every district. So at the moment, my stills and that speakeasy are shut down. Joe has everything protected, and I just don't have those two protected. All right. So let's go through district zone scoring here. 1 is Joe's. 2 is mine. I've now lost 4. And then 6 I now have. Yeah. So I'm getting 30. Joe is getting 20. Now here. 7, I have the better building. 8, mobsters. 9, Joe. And 12 mobsters. Okay, so once again, we're tied for 3rd place. We're getting nothing. I've got 13. Joe's got 14. I have 15. Same as before. Tied for 3rd place. We're each getting 20. Oh. That goes in the safe for me. All right. And now we only get 1 more action in Act 4, and then it's final scoring. Let's see what Joe's final action is going to be. Okay, going to the restaurant. In turn order, moving that up. I think they're at 15. They're going to build their first nightclub, then protect it. So let's see where they're going. 16. Oh, can't go there. But that will give them a family member in the docks. Okay, that's going to give them a helper card. They can't go in 5 either. Okay, they already got a person, so they can't get it again. Now they're going to 4. Can't go there. 12. Okay, there we go. They can go there. They're going to protect it right away. Everything else is protected, and now they're going to sell. They can sell 3. So I think they have 3. Guess they would take those 3. Each of those is 15, so 45. And there we go. That is it for them. Now for me, I think the best thing I can do is just protect my 2 buildings there, because that's going to be worth 30 points, 30 money at the end of the game. I don't have anything else I can sell. If I built something, I wouldn't be able to protect it. So we're just going to go over there. Get a family member. Get a token. Play this red card. Get another family member, but I can't place them. Let's get another goon for the heck of it. And now we're going to protect. I'm still in second place there. We haven't switched turn order yet, so that's 2, 4. And that's it. We're done. I mean, I guess we do switch turn order now. So my casino will pay out 5. And now we're done. And now we just need to check the final score and see who won. Let's start with Joe. He's going to get $1 for every city tile he has. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 8, 9, 10. He then scores for each of his different helper cards that have a different type of bottle. So all 4 of these are different. So he's getting 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. And now he gets money for his protected buildings. So he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 protected speakeasies. Each one of those is 10, so that's 50. He has 1 protected stills, that's worth 20. And then he has 1 protected nightclub, that's worth 15. So that's an extra 35. So let's see here. That's 100. 100. 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 100. So that's 300. Looks like 346 is his final. So we only had 3 helper cards, but they were different. So that's 5, 10, 20. And then our buildings, we have 1, 2. Yeah, just 2 protected speakeasies. So that's 20. We have a protected stills. So that's 20. So that's 40. Protected casino is also worth 20. So that's 60. And then 2 protected nightclubs worth 15 each. That's an extra 30. So 90 altogether. Now we can add up. So we also have 340, 53. 353 to 346. Wow. So there you go. We barely got a win against Joe on the easiest possible level. But hey, that's not bad for a learning game. And honestly, there's a very real likelihood that we made a mistake in there somewhere that would have swung that one way or the other. It was so close. Who knows? But I feel like I have a really good grasp on this game now after one play, which is kind of rare actually for a Lacerda. It usually takes me a few plays. And that's going to do it for me. I'd like to thank all of the financial supporters of Totally Tabled, including the totally radical Dr. Casey, Mitch Fisher, Hextra, John Kohler, Scott Myers, and Jay Satterwhite, as well as the totally bodacious Poppy. If you're interested in becoming a member, you can join on YouTube or my Patreon at www.patreon.com/totallytabled. You'll gain access to my new exclusive podcast, Table Talk, as well as unboxing videos and whatever extra stuff I come up with. As always, thank you so much for watching, and goodbye.